Hello everybody, welcome to a sort of unique kind of video. I know I normally do these talking videos with clips and other gameplay in the background, but I wanted to try something different and I wanted to rank all the different animes that I've watched. I haven't watched a whole lot, like I've got probably 70, 50, I think like 51 anime here, and compared to other people, that is not a lot. Like the other day, my friend showed me his list of manga that he read. That thing was so long. No, I'm not kidding. It was like 10 pages if it was separated into pages. But yeah, so I've watched a lot of anime. I'm currently watching some other ones that I didn't put here because, like, obviously I didn't finish them yet. The only anime I'm concerned about is A Silent Voice because that is a anime movie and I'm currently watching it. It's just on pause in the background. So at the end of the video, I will add on my ranking to A Silent Voice since I am yet to finish that. But let's just go ahead and get started. So the way this is broken up, obviously you have S, A, B, C, D, F, but I here have the four horsemen and the big three. So how this is going to work, the big three is going to be my top three favorite anime of all time at this current moment. And the four horsemen are like, they would be the best if the big three didn't exist. And I'm not talking about no Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. And then the four horsemen are like what was that one, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, like not that kind of tier list. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I didn't plan to say that part, but yeah. So let's just get straight into it. Um, Spy Family. I believe it was a good anime. It's more like kid oriented. Like there were some curse words used in the anime. There were some like other scenes that could be misinterpreted or like what would be the word, like more adult oriented. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good anime. It's not my favorite, but I think it gets a solid B tier. The characters are very interesting. Obviously, you have the dynamic of a telepath, a dog that can see the future, a spy, and an assassin. Like, you don't see that in normal everyday anime. So, the concept is unique, and so far the story is going good. I've watched season 1, 2, and the movie Code White, and all of them are pretty good. I give it like a 7 out of 10, if we're being real. So, yeah. This next one's kind of controversial. You know, Boruto. I give it a B tier. I know I give it a C tier. I feel like a lot of people only hate it because it doesn't live up to the expectations that came before it. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden were such big hits and very influential that compared to those two shows, Boruto just doesn't get enough hype. It's not as interesting, and you basically get the point. It's not bad. It was just too high of an expectation for Boruto, especially since it's in a time of peace. And obviously, if you read Two Blue Vortex or know the ending of Boruto, we're not in a time of peace anymore. So, yeah. But otherwise, it's a solid anime. Like, it's not better than Naruto by any means, but it is still respectable. So, yeah. And of course, next we have Dragon Ball. I'm just gonna go ahead. This doesn't need any explanation. It's going in A. It's like, it's really good, but I feel like it's mostly the nostalgia factor that people rank it so high. Like, it's not the greatest anime of all time. It's one of the founding anime, but it's nowhere near the best, especially compared to some later ones I'll probably put in the Four Horsemen and S tier. So, and of course, shonen isn't the only genre, so as you can see with like all these various animes I have here, I might forget the names of some of these characters. I don't even know this guy's name. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul. This is one of the Four Horsemen. Tokyo Ghoul is so underrated, but people just don't know how good it is because really, really, yeah. So Tokyo Ghoul is just that the anime butchered it so much, starting at Route A, that people just who don't read the manga don't understand how good it is. Like if you read the manga, you'd know it's a classic right there. But with the execution of season one, that was fantastic. When they got to Route A, they left out important battles like Kaneki and Arima. They ended the season right after Kaneki versus what was his name, Amon, and they just left out a whole lot. And then they skipped the rest of it to go straight into Re. So this one, I'm talking strictly about the manga, not the anime. But if I'm ranking this based on the anime, it still is a Four Horsemen. It's up there. Say, Code Geass is also S because it's not as good as something like Gurren Lagann or Death Note or something like that. Other animes that came from its time, but it's phenomenal. Like season one was off the rails. It was already super good, and they had all these different characters that they don't mind the course of action taking against them, obviously. But yeah, I don't know why I have Fairy Tail in here. I didn't finish the series yet. Um, and Food Wars. I didn't finish that either. Oh well. Um, yeah. So it's just really good. The ending I feel like could be a little controversial because they didn't do much to lead up to it. Well, I mean, like they did after they took control of the army, but like the ending I feel like might have been rushed. Like it deserved a better explanation as to why Lelouch thought that way would be the best way. And I know it is for the best, but I want to know how he got to that thinking. Which leads us into Death Note, which is obviously a Four Horsemen. I don't need to explain that. All I'm going to say for Death Note, the Nier saga gets too much hate. Nier is a good character, and the saga does not deserve as much hate as it gets. It's still good, it's just not as good. But yeah, the series as a whole, plus you got like the Minari storylines and the other people. That's also really good. I like how Minari sold the Death Note for money and then got killed right after. Sorry if that's a spoiler. That's like if you don't read the manga, you're never gonna know that anyways. All right, I'm gonna. I don't know if I should skip this one. We're just gonna move on to Bakuman next. This is I'm debating whether this is a Four Horsemen or S tier because I have at least one more anime I want to put, two more animes I want to put in the Four Horsemen, but I feel like Bakuman could easily overtake one of these. So for now, I'm just gonna put it here. Bakuman is from the creators of Death Note and goes into the ins and outs in the life and the other aspects of being a manga creator. And it goes into stuff like personal relationships and health problems, which are a big thing with manga creation. And in the show, they have the one genius. I forgot his name. I forgot his name, but the genius is based off of Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. And they nailed down that genius mangaka so well. Nizuma Eiji, that's his name. I'm sorry, I have a bit of a stuffy nose right now. I just turned on a air purifier. Please excuse the noise in the background if you hear it. But yeah, this is obviously if I had made it big five, this might be in that big five. But it's really good too. The only thing I didn't like was how they skipped over the wedding. That's probably a spoiler too. I'm sorry. So, anyways, obviously the goal was for Mashiro and I forgot the girl's name, but their goal was to get married after they made it. And obviously, it's a anime. Of course, they're gonna make it. Well, unless the anime is Platinum End, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. But yeah, Bakuman is insanely good. It was actually the first manga I ever read. In middle school, our library had quite a few mangas, and there was a public library literally next door. It's like during English class, we'd go walk over to the library to get books. I don't know if it was either one of those two libraries I found Bakuman, but they only had the first volume, and I was so upset that I couldn't read the rest. But yeah, I've caught up with the anime. I've watched all of it. I want to finish the manga too, just to see if there's any differences. But yeah, so Platinum End. This is controversial. It's kind of like Death Note, but it's also not. It's the same in the sense where it questions belief and reality, what's right and wrong. But I feel like it's not executed the best it could. Like, the first half is more shonen-y, while the second half is more philosophical. And the ending, too, they deserved the ending before that, but instead they got the ending after that, so that should tell you the original ending is happy, the actual ending is sad. But I still enjoyed it. It wasn't... I'd put it above Spy Family, but it's just kind of a mess towards the ending. And I don't know how else to describe it. And then it could be really good. It could be amazing, but it's just alright. I feel like that would be better in like the C category, but I still think it's better than Spy Family. Okay, so we are nearing where I don't know where the anime is. There's an anime down here somewhere. I'm trying to find the character. Okay, I found him. Let's just talk about these two controversial ones right now. School Days. D tier. Well, maybe I'll put it in C. It's not bad, okay? But it's not good at all. It's your typical, like, harem anime. And the ending caught me off guard so much. And I knew what was happening. I knew what the ending was already. So, one of my friends at school told me to watch this. My brother told me to watch this. If my friend from school ever sees this video, why are you watching this? And then he just recommended me another anime. And both him and my manga friend both agree that it's worse than School Days, so I can only imagine what that is. Yeah, the plot line is just harem. So, actually, you know what? Yeah, it's low C. Like, they do have some interesting plot points, but overall it's not fantastic. You know what, we'll return to that other anime later. I'm sure some people know what it is just by looking at these images. Let's go in order here for a little bit. Mashal, A tier. I put it above Dragon Ball. You know, I feel like the best part about Dragon Ball is the Perfect Cell Saga. But yeah, so Mashal, it's comedic. It's medium paced, which you don't want to go too fast or too slow when making anime, because you also don't want to put filler or put too much. Like Naruto had an insane amount of filler, but it was good filler. Same with Dragon Ball, you know, you just don't see green aliens and monkey aliens driving cars to get their licenses, you know? So I do find the concept really good. Like, it's Harry Potter mixed with gym bros. That's literally what it is. Like, Mashal is born without magic, and the rest of the world has magic. And if someone else or if anybody else finds out he's magicless, he could be sentenced to death. So his goal is to become a divine visionary, the like second highest role in the hierarchy without magic. And if he does, he can live peacefully. So, yeah, like I said, it's comedic. It moves at a good pace. The characters are very interesting. Like, one character, this main character, Mashal, he meets this guy at school, and he's not strong by any means, but he has the courage and the bravery. You know, he could be a Zenitsu if he wanted to, but he's just Finn. And his brother's a divine mission visionary, so, yeah. Blue Lock, S tier right here. I don't need to explain that. We're talking about the storyline here. If we're talking about, like, animation, hell no. Okay, that shit was ass. But, that's all I'm gonna say. Read the manga. You can watch the anime if you want to, but read the manga first. That's your main course of action here. The manga. That's the key word. Naruto gets a B tier. I still put it like above Platinum End though. It's not as good as Dragon Ball, but it's better than Platinum End. And Naruto's self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into it much, but, you know, Sakura, just nobody likes her, and Tenten got no screen time. That's all I'm going to say. Blue Exorcist. The manga's getting really good right now. I put it above Mashal. It starts off kind of slow. Like, you really have to get introduced to everybody, and then you got the whole, like, camping field trip, the stuff with the Maimon, and it really gets, like, to a point where you might want to drop it, especially because, like, if you're watching the anime, they have, like, 7 filler episodes at the end of Season 1 that have nothing to do with the storyline, and it's retconned in Season 2, so it really depends on whether or not you read the manga or watch the anime, but it's really good still. XXX Tentacion can vouch for it. He said somewhere, he's like, here's my list of really good animes, and Blue Exorcist was on there. They right here. Devil is a part-timer. This is just a, like, comedy show. And in season 1, it's, like, 90% comedy, 10% shonen. In season 2, it's, like, 50% each side. Like, season 1 is what we're really here to talk about. It's really funny. They bring in a lot of gags that are used over and over. And they're actually put into spots in the show that it's made funny. Like, they don't just insert a laugh track or something because they think, oh, people will laugh at this. Like, they actually find the perfect moments to turn into comedy, and the rest can be really serious. So that's what I really like about this show. My brother told me to watch it, so I did. His friend watches it like every year, you know, because that's his favorite show. But yeah, okay. I did forgot about this when I was talking about controversial shows. All I'm gonna say is watch the dub. Otherwise, it kind of sucks. I haven't watched the subbed version yet, but if we're talking about dub, this could very well be S tier. This is the best anime dub of all time. But just the storyline and concepts of it is D tier right here. It's not bad, but it's not really bad. It's just bad. Like, they just rip off a bunch of horror movies. So, Manajaku though, he the goat. Dr. Stone's an obvious S tier as well. I put it above Code Geass. I feel like this one's also set out a good pace, and they do get into some character backstories a lot, like Tsukasa, how he's fighting to rescue his little sister, or how Taiju really wants to confess his love to Yuzuriha, and Senku could not care less about anything going on, and he just wants to return to the normal world, so I think it's a really good anime. One of my favorites, but it's not worthy of a 4 Horsemen ranking. It's just really good. And actually, when I watched this last year, I started a notebook with like a bunch of recipes and stuff that he did, whether that's food, weapons, you know. I'm never going to use those weapons, but I'd like to make Senku Cola, and if I do, I will post it on YouTube. So, look out for that video one day. But for now, we're going to move on to Fire Force. I'm yet to read the Fire Force manga because I'm caught up with the anime, and Season 3 starts in 2025. I think it's like June 2025, July. While Core 2 of Season 3 is in 2026. So I'm looking forward to that, but I know now that Fire Force sets up Soul Eater, which I'm currently watching. I don't know how, I just know that at the end he somehow sets it up and it's all connected, because they're made by the same mangaka too. So, I think it's really good though. I wouldn't say it's above Blue Exorcist. I say they're about the same. But I think the edge goes to Fire Force just a little bit for its mostly original concept. I don't think it's been done before. If it has, I'm unaware. I'm putting this at the bottom. But yeah. Benimaru is the original Toji. You can very clearly see it. Like, if I pull up a picture of Benimaru, Benny Marshinmon. Like, look at this. Oh, that's not the right anime. That's that time I got reincarnated into a slime. But, like, look at this man. Tell me he doesn't look like Toji. Pull up Toji in a different tab. Toji, what was he? It's like a kimono? Alright, tell me, come on. These two don't look the same. Like, they do look the same, but, you know, you get the point. Also putting Food Wars down here. Let's move on. Let's just do Cowboy Bebop real quick. That's the best anime I've ever watched.